Danny, I'm with the CS team at Figured, and today we're going to talk about how to reconcile your actual transactions from within your livestock tracker. Your livestock tracker speaks directly with your Xero account, so any sales and purchases that you have entered in Figured should also exist in Xero. If you ever pop into your livestock tracker and it looks like this with this orange banner across the top or these orange triangles, that's an indication that you have unreconciled accounts and there's an imbalance between the two. If you click the Resolve Now button in the banner, that's going to open up this separate page to show you exactly which accounts are unreconciled. If we take a look at our top account here, our UHoggets account, we can see that we currently don't have any transactions entered against it in our Figured livestock tracker, but our Xero account has a balance of $2,990. We can use this blue text here as a link directly to our Xero account. That's now run a report to show us what the $2,990 figure is made up of. In this instance, it's just made up of one transaction that exists in Xero that we haven't gotten figured. An easy way for us to reconcile this account would be to pop back into our main tracker page. We can make sure we're looking at it in detailed view and click this cell that's unreconciled, and that's going to give us our import from Xero button. That's then going to bring through the details of the transaction that's already been entered in Xero. We can confirm they're correct and we have the option to save that. That will then reconcile the two accounts. If we wanted to manually enter the details of the transaction, we can do so using the toolbar at the top, the Add Actual button, and you can add a sale. When you do add the sale, you're not going to want to post that to Xero since it already exists on Xero's end. Let's pop back into our unreconciled accounts page and take a look at the second account here. We can see that our mixed lamb accounts currently has $123,000 worth of transactions entered against it in Figured, but on Xero's end it only has $113,000 worth of transactions. We use the same link and that's going to show us what that value is made up of. And we can compare these transactions to what's entered in Figured listed below. We're looking for any differences between the two sides on any transactions that might be missing in Xero. If it was made up of multiple transactions that were currently entered in Figured that didn't exist in Xero, we could then create a summary transaction on Xero's end to cover everything that was missing from those multiple transactions. From there, we would then be able to apply the payment, run a sync in Figured, and those two accounts would reconcile. In this instance, I can see that the difference is made up of one transaction here. I can see from the status of the transaction that it was one that I created, but I didn't post it to Xero, which is why it's missing in Xero. This is a pretty easy fix. I can then go into the transaction, make sure all the details are correct, and choose the Post to Xero option. That's then going to create an invoice on Xero's end that we can apply the payment to, and then when we run our sync next in Figured, those two accounts will reconcile. It also has the option to show the transaction as posted. If I had created the transaction, posted it to Xero, you can see here. What that then means is I haven't applied the payment on Xero's end. So I could find that transaction, apply the payment, and the same would apply. A quick tip for making it easier to reconcile your transactions is to always use the same workflow, whether that be entering your transactions in Xero first and then importing them into Figured, or entering them Figured first and applying the payments in Xero.